have something different for you this week.
We have our hybrid AusRV XL13. We're just going to give you a rundown on it. We have had it now for
a year and a half.
And we've been full-time travelling in it for about 8 months.
And everywhere we go, we seem to have someone come up and ask us questions about it.
People do ask about the hybrids because it's not a camper trailer, which is what we had before, and it's not a caravan, which is probably what we might look for in the future. So why did we pick the hybrid?
Well, one, we wanted a shower and toilet.
Yes.
And we wanted something to easily set up.
We definitely did. So the camper trailer was getting pretty hard for me just due to health, and that's why we sort of went to a hybrid. We didn't want something huge because we still like to get out in the tracks. It is still definitely small enough, the size of this one. And the reason we chose this one in particular was...
One, it was a 13-foot. So that was really good.
That's right. Other things that I look for, so when I come and look for it, was how
totally different to what I look for.
That's right, which is what totally different, Katrina, which how quickly we could get it, because obviously my health, you know, it could decline at any time, so we didn't want to wait 18 months.
And most of the caravan places at that stage did have at least that.
That's right, they had an 18-month wait period. We could get this one pretty much off shelf. Only downside to that is we couldn't really get any mods done to it. It was just get it. So
yeah, there was no options of anything extra, was there?
That's right. So I did a fair bit of research in that, and we wanted something that had a lifetime warranty on the structural chassis in that, which this one does. Also checked the gal formation of it, because some of them, when they gal dip, they don't have holes in them. So I crawled around underneath and made sure all the holes were in it, so it ensures that it's gal dipped. Righto, I'll just show you under here the suspension and that we've got, and the holes that you look for. So when you get under the vehicle, have a look for these sorts of holes. All right, so you're looking for these holes here. That means that the gal has been able to get in and be on the inside of the structural chassis. There are more in there. I'm not going to crawl around underneath because I'll get dirty, but I look for all those sorts of holes. That ensures that when they dip it in the gal, it goes inside the tube as well, so the inside doesn't rust out. The suspension was a pretty good quality suspension on this one here. Obviously, it is not an Australian-made fella. AusRV was Australian-made. They shipped it offshore with their MDC and started manufacturing in China, but with all the German components and that of the original AusRV. So there's still an extraordinarily good hybrid.
I was just going to say, sorry, pop back in, but we have to tell them that they can't actually get an AusRV now.
No.
So what have MDC done instead of AusRV?
They combined the two. So the MDC had a Forbes and they had an AusRV. They've combined the two because the other reason we chose the AusRV, it's got lithium. It could have more solar, but I'm limited to the roof space, obviously, so we get external stuff done. And just, we could do 3 tonne with it, so we could put a little bit more stuff on it. So they're a couple of the good things. Okay, so off-road capability. So was it off-road capable? It definitely is. And just clearance. A couple of the other things we definitely look for was water storage. We've got a 120 litre water tank, we've got an 80 litre water tank. We can sit there and switch between the two without having to change any pipe work. It was just via a stop valve. And we also look for a grey water tank. I know a lot of people will say, oh, they're going to make them fresh water. So many places now will not let you dump any sort of water on the ground, so you've got to be able to catch it. So the grey water one is extremely important. That was in our opinion, because we have been caught out before and had to move on. All the water tanks have got a gal plate cover on them, so even the grey water tank to protect it. The only one that I might have a bit of concern about was just the outlet for the grey water tank. We haven't had any problems yet, but you know, it's a grey water tank, so when we're driving, if a stone hits it, we like the water to empty out anyway. Okay, since getting the van, we've made a few little changes to it from last time you probably saw it. We've whacked on a stone stomper. We love it. It's light, it's easy to install, and really works well so far for us. We've also put on a bike rack so we can carry our e-bikes. Took a lot of research to get this because the e-bikes are pretty heavy. We had to get something that could be strong enough to hold the e-bike, so we really grip sport was the only way to go. And with mounting, without doing any other welding and chopping and changing, we've put a manufactured bracket at the back. It bolts on behind. It's nice and solid, and so far we haven't had any issues whatsoever, and it's actually fairly easy to get the bikes on and off, so we do actually really love our e-bikes. Ready?
Tight. We've actually took 2 bike locks on there just to try and keep those like fingered peoples away.
Unlock.
Give us a little rock so we show how nice. That's pretty solid.
So some of the super things that I did like about the MDC too was its storage, certainly its front toolbox. The fact that it's got 2 gas cylinders in the front here, they can be 9 kgs or they can be 8.5 or 8, it's changed. Diesel heater was a game changer for us because we went camping in it and it was cold and we really had to snuggle up. So I bought a auto term diesel heater. It's about $1,300. Come with a tank. Well, we had to buy the tank separate, but I mounted the tank inside the box here, which fitted in perfectly. Had to bolt it on. Got me spout around the side here, which is sealed up, so we can actually, when we fill up diesel in the car, we actually fill up the here too, or I've got a jerry can on the other side with diesel in it. So we can show you inside where we mounted that when we do the inside, but so far diesel heater's a real game changer. Now there's a lot of contention on generators, what to get, what not to get, and do you actually even need one, because we do have solar on it. We did talk about that before. We do have a pretty big battery, but it does drain, and on a day like today, and certainly if we put a few of them together, our battery just drains to dead. So we do have a generator. We bought the Honda 2.2 purely because it fits right here. We did a fair bit of research on noise, size, weight, and this one here was the winner in the end. Yes, it's probably a bit dearer than some of the others, but I'm able to leave it on even when we turn it on and run it. I'll just run the lead back, plug it in. We also have our water in here, and we got a washing machine. So the generator will run the little washing machine, which we use when we're near water or got water available. We don't like to suck water out of our van just to do the washing. We'll just wear our same clothes over and over again. Rightio, because we've got a Netgear Nighthawk 2 modem, which runs off Telstra, we did get an antenna for it. I'm not going to pull it out, it actually works quite well, but I had to work on how to get the cables from outside inside, so I actually got one of these Clipsal enclosures, and I just lift it up. We just poke the wires through there from the antenna wires, and that's what we use for our antenna at the moment. I did whack on an external solar blanket, so used the DC to DC charger, and I have put a different regulator in for the solar on the roof, so I'm maximising everything I get. We put a cover over our hot water vent because it's sealed. The plastic one I was worried would fall off, and when you take it off it's all open anyway. So this one here protects from rain and everything. Great little addition.
Okay, the part that I love, and the part that a lot of people actually come and talk to us about, is our bar. So if you have a look, it just looks like a normal bar, but we've actually got, it's like almost a hand width in there, so we can have things like our cereal, our sauces, our paper towels sitting in there. So it's an extra storage. Bonus, I love storage. Okay, and talking about storage, and this is what won us over, we're choosing between the Forbes and the AusRV. All of them have this, which is your fridge slide. Excuse our rubbish bin. So they all have the fridge slide, but the bit that none of the others had was this extra storage up the top. And we can fit so much stuff in here. On this side we have the baby queue, we have our yoga mats, we have a little table for the baby queue. Okay, I have to say I am loving the kitchen that has come with our MDC camper. It has been awesome. Yes, it's got 4 burners. No, we don't use 4 burners, but I can use 2 on opposite sides and that makes life easy. But the first time you turn the gas on, you have to be careful. Cain stands here and often it goes a little bit kaboom, so I'm standing back. Have you turned the gas on, Cain?
Yeah.
Why is it not lighting? Hey, it lit. And it didn't go kaboom on Katrina, which is always a good thing because, you know, I kind of like my eyebrows. And welcome to the inside of our van. It's only 13 foot, so space is a big issue in this van. It's not really an issue, it's just something that we have to work with.
Have you undone all the clips?
Yes, I believe so. Hang on. Yep.
Well.
I should have tried it. I was going to say I've got to try it again. And I missed a really easy one.
That, gentlemen's how we make the bed.
We would have actually had a lot more bench space, but we chose to put the microwave in here, which has been a godsend when it's rainy days, because as you can see there is no kitchen in here, so we can just reheat food and things like that. The other thing, so taking all of our bench space, is our toaster. Again, another thing that makes it really easy for us to have a quick, easy meal. Really easy. That doesn't really sound good. Another thing that makes it
convenient.
Thank you. Another thing that makes it really convenient is that when it's raining, we can have a quick and easy meal. So toaster just slips in here, and the old microwave cord actually wraps around it so that it stays in place. So in corrugation, things like that, we don't have any problems with the toaster falling out because the microwave power lead actually keeps it there in place. Now, being such a small caravan, Cain might have to sit on the bed just so that he can reach back. Often when we're eating, Cain sits on the bed, I sit on the couch, and usually the laptop actually has the other part of the couch, so we have very limited sitting space in here. But things like my laptop bag has to just live on the floor. We have Coke cans. They just have to live on the floor because there is nowhere else for us to put them. We don't have any storage under the bed. That's where all the battery systems are. We do have some storage underneath the chair. One side, however, is the diesel heater. And in the 8 months we've been on the road so far, we can't actually put anything on the diesel heater side because we've actually used it so often. And when you're using it, you can't have anything in there touching it. Usually, while we're traveling, I do put the Ugg boots in with the diesel heater, but I then have to pull them out again when we want to use it. The other side is just for shoes and a bit of linen. But yeah, very limited storage space. Otherwise, it's just the cupboards that you see. Now, something that we have just recently purchased are these Lumi lights. They were thanks to Mel's Fido because she's got them everywhere in her van. Lumi lights are fantastic because they run solar charge. These ones we don't actually take out to solar, but you can plug them into 12 volt charge them up, and we try and do that during the day when we have sun. And then at night time, we don't actually turn this on. This is only on because we're on power at the moment. We just have the Lumi lights on, and they easily last 2 nights, definitely. You know, you turn them off when you go to bed. And then we've got another set outside, which also help keep the bugs away at night time. So if you're interested, Lumi lights, they're not super cheap, about $70 each, but they have been a godsend, and they give a really nice, I was going to say aroma, that's not the right word. They give a really nice aura feel. What's the word?
Romantic.
Mood
lighting.
Okay, they give a really nice mood to the whole van, mood lighting, and as Cain would like to say, romantic, but heck no. Just, yeah, gives it a nice homey feel.
What's this?
Good question. This is my All Smalls, and we took the strap off the All Smalls and we put a bit of double-sided Velcros on the back there, and I use it mainly to hang hats on, and it's so easy, just chuck them in there, and then it's easy to grab them when you're ready to go out. But if it's been raining and I need to dry some things, I'll pull the hats off and you can chuck togs, underwear, things like that on there easily to dry. And especially because we've got the Sirocco fan right here, then it can blow air on them as well. If you've got any questions about how we live in a small van, things that we do like to make our life easier in a small van, what's it like on the road full time in such a small space, put it in the comments below. We would love to try and answer some of your questions.
Drawers. So I use top drawer. That's pretty much all my medication. And that's blood pressure, all that sort of stuff sits in that top drawer. So that drawer's pretty much done. My cupboard. So that's all my clothes. Katrina has this nice area here. And you can see she uses these bags, but for different purposes than I do. She keeps
don't you keep your dresses in a bag like me, and your gym clothes or your fitness clothes in a bag?
I have heard ones like, who is it? Mel Speedo now has taken a leaf out of some other person's book.
Jack and Megan.
Jack and Megan, and keeps her dresses in her pillows. So, you know, each to their own. Everyone does a bit of their own.
Do you need to be opening all my drawers?
Oh, that's a naughty drawer.
That is not.
And cupboard, there's not a lot of space. It's like Trina said, there's not a lot of space. But yes, we do tend to put, and we do have a games drawer, so we do use that games drawer.
We actually nearly have 2 games drawers.
We nearly have 2 games drawers, so we do have to sit there and work them out. So that's like a games drawer.
With a few other bits and pieces.
That's another games drawer.
Cain, why is that Oki strap sitting there?
Because that Oki strap sits up over like this when we fold up, and it holds all this on and the microwave in place.
So it stops the microwave falling out on corrugation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it hooks on when it all folds down. So that's why that's there.
What's in the second drawer?
That drawer?
Do you even know?
That's general medication for all of us.
That's like our first aid kit.
That's our first aid kit, all our sort of other medications and all that sort of stuff.
And the top drawer is like any top drawer at home.
To do with the van. That is everything to do with the van.
And all the junk.
Yep.
Anything that doesn't have a home. And of course we have to have a look in the bathroom. I always want to see what these look like. Ours is just a normal caravan toilet. The thing that I love in this bathroom is that we've actually got a bit more space than a lot of the other hybrids in the shower, so you can move around a bit even though the toilet's in there. And of course I love this storage bit above the toilet. This is awesome. We can put all our toiletries in there.
All the bed's huge anyway, so.
Oh, what size is our bed?
It's a king size bed. Sometimes I've got to go looking for Trina because you lay in bed and you can spread out and just don't know she's in there. Yes.
Okay, so if you have liked our review on our MDC AusRV XL13, yes, I know it's a mouthful, please tick the like button, follow along, subscribe. We have lots of new adventures to share with you, and we can't wait to show you what we're up to next. So, yeah, come along for the ride.
Yes.
See you next week. And this is the point where Dingbat me presses the wrong button on the camera and I thought I was recording and I wasn't. Home sweet home.
Might stay a few days. Could stay a few weeks. It's a dump point in town.